Okay, so hey guys, it's Arverni. I know, it's been a really long time since I released a video, and I have a perfectly legitimate explanation for that. My computer went batshit crazy. No matter what I did, the screen would sometimes just go black while the computer kept running in the background, and then, after like a month spent trying to figure out what it was and eventually deciding that it was probably the video cable, it started working fine again. So yeah, now I'm using it again, and I'm comfortable enough, having gotten used to my school schedule, that I can start doing videos again. And so I bring you Skyrim. This time it's going to be a different character than Thieves Guide, because that file got lost somehow, and it was garbage anyway. I was going to have to start over. So let's begin. Now, the last time on my first Skyrim video, I received a comment from a friend, that how do I deal with how long the loading screen is? And very simply, I started playing Skyrim on the Xbox. Now, if anyone has ever played Skyrim on the Xbox, you all know how long those loading screens take. They are insane. It's just like, oh my god, what are you gonna do? It's ridiculous. Sorry about that, I had to go do something with my dog before he started going into a full-blown barking fit. But anyway, the purpose of this video will mostly be to show off my character and highlight some of the more obvious mods that I'll be using during this character and all the stuff. And now, if only it would just load. This is a little longer than the Xbox, but for all the awesome stuff I have, the initial loading screen taking this long is worth it. And then we have my guy. Now he's wearing armor from 3 different mods. The helmet is from the Aesir Armor mod, which will be in the description. The armor is, I forget if it's Wolf Knight or Wolf Master armor, which the link will also be in the description. And then his cloak is from the Winter is Coming Cloaks mod. Now before moving on, so you guys can all get a better look at him, let's make it daytime. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, woo! And then standing right next to me is my pride and joy, and is actually an animal companion that I made myself using the creation kit. 8 hours later, and here he is. I really had no idea what I was doing when I started making him. All I knew is that nobody really had one already made that I liked. And then the sword my guy is using is from the Longclaw mod, which I got from Steam, and I will link in the description. And for any of you who do not know, Longclaw is the sword of Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. Yes, I like the sword that much that I found a mod for it inside Skyrim. And then let's go into here. Wrong button. No, still wrong button. Mod configuration. So I still have achieved that and Armored Sprint. I also have the Heartbreaker mod, which basically what will happen is when an enemy falls on their knees, I have the option to rip their heart out as a kill move. So yeah, I thought that was fantastic. That's originally from a demon, like a demon lord character I was playing, because it fit more in with like his big evil type thing, but why not? My guy is, as you'll see, bigger than most people in Skyrim. I still have Immersive Creatures, which just adds a whole bunch of options for like spawning and stuff of the monsters added by the mod. Then I have Predator Vision, which works for werewolves or vampires. And basically, what happens is they can activate night vision, and they'll see heat signatures of enemies. And then I also put in Project Ultimatum because of the fact of I was kind of annoyed that like there's so much immersion going on, and then it broke lore immersion by like calling septums gold in your inventory, and how like the wood elves weren't Bosmer and the dark elves weren't Dunmer, and they were, you know, like the dark elves or the stuff. And then Sky UI is just the mod that allows me to have all this stuff running. And then Spurg is it's a complete talent tree overhaul, and so I'll show that in a moment. And then here's the Dance of Death, and basically what the Dance of Death is for is you can increase the chances of kill moves. You can make it so you're immune to kill moves, which why would I do that? That's not fun. And then you can just check off certain kill moves so that like certain ones won't happen. And then there's the Aesir armor mod just shows up in here for some there's settings for it, and that it's just you can what happens with the Aesir armor mod, you have like all these different like pieces of and bits of armor that you can put together to create your own pretty much custom armor. But so it just showing off my character's height. Yeah, I'm like a head taller than most people. And so the mod that also allowed me to do that more easily, it's just a complete character customization overhaul, and it gives you more options and stuff like that. And that'll be in the description along with the one that it adds like classes and birth signs and stuff like that. So yeah.
Don't get any ideas.
It's been so long since I used my controller. God damn it. How did I forget this? There we go. B button. And just to show off all the different, like, I guess, what would you call that? Active effects. A lot of these are from either my armor, from enchants, or from the new talent tree sources. It's actually funny, with the new talent tree, I have a mod that gives me 2 perk points per level. I was actually swinging my sword so quickly, and I'm swinging it again really quickly. I shouldn't be swinging it that quickly. I slowed it down. So I'll have to change that at another time, but I actually installed a mod so that I could slow down my weapon attacks because they were going so quickly. Oh, and then I forgot while I was in my active effects. But some of them are actually come from, there's a mod that I found called the Beast Within. And basically what it does is it gives you passive effects, for when you're a werewolf. So like when you invest in the werewolf perk tree, you have certain passive effects that are still running when you are even in human form, which I quite like because it's one of those. I mean, the benefits aren't great, but almost every source seems to agree that werewolves in human form do tend to be slightly better than just normal people. And yes, I'm also running this quickly due to Armored Sprint, that unfortunately I thought you could tick it down a little bit more than I could, but I couldn't. And then right here is, what the frick? Since when has there ever been a dragon on that? Oh, that's right. I completely forgot, but I installed a house mod and it's dragon themed, so I guess there would be a dragon on top of it. Hey look, something to kill. But so, back to here, the reason why Outside Whiterun looks so different is I downloaded a mod called Immersive Settlements just to make it seem a little more real, that a lot of in history, a lot of fortress type
Need a ride?
town things also had a smaller outlying town around it. What else is there?
Good morning.
Oh yes, I also have a mod that puts direwolves in the
Yes?
game, and just let me say, they are not fun to deal with. Granted, they're so much lower level than me, but I'm kind of afraid of what they'll be like because I'm currently playing on master difficulty, and if I still feel too powerful, I'll be turning it up to legendary. Oh, yes, two other mods that I have that will not be visible until later points when I'm actually playing the game are it's either War Grounds or Battlegrounds, and what it does is it simply adds, every now and then you'll be walking around and you'll come into a big giant war between different factions, and it just adds more combat to the Civil War quest line, such as it'll make the battles take longer, or every time you go back to your camp there's either an Imperial or Stormcloak assault on a camp between quests. Yeah, I just have so many mods, it's hard remembering all the ones I'm going to be coming across here. But now I guess I can show the skill trees. Now Spurg also makes magic a little more viable if you want to play a solely magic character. Such as this one, Frost Aura, increases armor rating and frost resistance by 20%, and nearby enemies suffer 75% of frost and 20% reduced movement speed. But then it's the first one in Destruction Tree, your Destruction skill increases the magnitude of your spells, meaning that they get stronger. And then this one makes it so you cast destruction spells for half magicka. And then this one, shock spells deal 50% more damage, all spells cost 20% less to cast. And then this one. This one's kind of cool that I like it, because when you're charging up a spell and enemies strike you, they take elemental damage based on the spell you're charging up. I didn't want to do that. And then smithing is completely changed. Arcane Blacksmith's still kind of the same, except now fire damage enhanced enchantments, are now stronger than they normally would be. And a lot of these also have different effects in terms of, at least on the right it did. You find twice as many gems when mining, and you get 25% bonus to iron and basic steel armor. 20% to Elven and Dwarven. Enhancements you cast on Elven, Dwarven, and Orcish are 15% more powerful. 15% iron, steel, and Orcish. 30% bonus to iron, steel, and Orcish weapons. 20% better price with orcs, and they consider you a friend, so no more having to find the Forge Master's fingers to do anything orc related. God damn it, I keep doing that. It's been so long since I've used a controller while playing Skyrim. The armor tree is a lot different too. It took the matching set perk, and instead of having to wear an entire set, you need to just wear at least 3 pieces of a matching set. This is I also like, because in the basic portion, it's you get specific bonuses to certain weapons, axes get more, war axes get 50% more critical damage, but then every weapon gets 5% more crit damage. And so that's that's helpful. Oh, speech. I really like what they do with speech. Well, obviously you still have your buying and selling prices, And what this means is that the higher level your speech skill, the better it is. So instead of having to invest in it multiple times, it's a one-time investment. You can bribe guards, you can sell any type of item to any merchant. Your skills increase 5% faster, and you can train more per level. That's helpful. Best friend, a loyal animal companion, carries extra equipment and fights by your side. Well, since I created my own best friend, wow, I just almost completely butchered his name. Since I created him, I don't really need this guy anymore because he has an inventory that I can use. And then this is cool, and I thought that this is going to be really useful when fighting Draugr Death Lords and stuff on, if I have to get booted up to Legendary, because now when I use shouts on them, it takes longer for them to shout at me. That's nice too. That's really nice. I guess at this point it's just, I guess I didn't really show much when it came to like what's on my weapons and stuff. Yeah, my inventory is really full right now. So this is my bow, and for anyone that can't read it, it is enchanted with the if anyone remembers the bow from Dragonborn that gave you like that was the something bow of the Stag Prince, and where every 20 animals you killed gave you a slight bonus to damage and stuff like that. Well, I'm not a big fan of all this fact that there's these certain enchantments that you can't get to use yourself, and so I also have a mod that allows you to disenchant aforementioned items. So yes, I did use the developer room to get some of this stuff done, because obviously I haven't really progressed far into the storyline. And then the other enchantment is 18 points of frost damage to health and stamina, and it has a small chance of freezing people solid. Now that same enchantment is also on Longclaw, along with just the normal standard frost damage enchantment. So it's the Wolf Knight armor, and it's, as you can see, the body piece is based off of the Savior's hide, except that his pants, so that thrills me. And then the boots and gloves are based off of the wolf armor. Don't really know what the helmet looks like because I didn't really care that much, because I still like this helmet the best. It's just, it doesn't show the wolf skin in here, but the wolf skin is on it. And then also like the Book of Homies, and I believe the AFT README, yes, they, along with, okay, I guess those are it. They all belong to, mods that make it so you can have multiple followers. Followers, use actually correct weapons and stuff based on their skills, because I forget exact examples, but there are followers that use one-handed weapons instead of two-handed, because even though they're better at using two-handed weapons. So that's a nice little change. And then the Scroll of the Trader, what that allows, I could have actually uninstalled that, because I really don't need it since that other mod. What the Scroll of the Trader allows you to do is you can trade Dragon Souls for perk points. But I don't really need to do that since I get 2 perk points per level. And another thing is, if you don't like one-handed swords, this little thing explains to you how you can rebalance Longclaw and make it into a two-handed weapon. And all you have to do is, it's part of the steel smithing perk. Yes, you need this. I believe you need the steel smithing perk and a steel ingot to turn Longclaw into a two-handed version. And then you can do the same thing to revert it back.
This was a stupid.
The thing is, though, any enhancements or enchantments you put on it will disappear during the rebalancing process. So at this point in time, I can't really think of much else to go over, and I don't really have much more time for recording. So I guess I'll just save here, and bid everyone adieu.